Hi guys, today we're going to have a look at very simple fillable forms that are available in Excel by default and take your data directly into Excel without you having to look at 10 different emails and entering them into the spreadsheet. Let's find out how we're going to do this. Let's go. Hi everybody, today we're going to have a look at how to make a simple Excel fillable form which will allow you to collect data and not have to manage 100 different emails coming to you or different messages or various different formats of collecting data. This is very simple, can be used from anything from an office party all the way up to collecting detailed information from customers, forms, questionnaires, surveys, whatever you want to do to collect information. So there are two ways to do it. One way would be you come over to the Microsoft 365 platform, and for your reference, you have all of your apps on the left hand side here. And when you click onto apps, you will find all the apps that are available for you. And what we need to do is we need to click onto the Forms app. Once we're there, we go on to a new form. And once it loads up a new form, we can get started. Excel has a number of different templates that you could work with, and that can be done as well. But if you want to create a form from scratch, then this is how we're going to do it. And once you've reached a screen like this, you can start from scratch. So you can go to the theme if you want to design it first. You can look at the various different colors. You can go to the different templates, and there are also different ideas here as well. So let's go for something simple over here. And that's a simple one here. Now you can say survey for collection. We could use this as a survey, for example, for collecting data. 102 responses. Now these can be anything that you would like to have. Okay, so now we can go through different types of answering. So we can have a choice, a text box, a rating, or a date. There are different things that you may want to add here. So let's add a section. We're going to choose a rating. So with the rating, you can choose a symbol. So it could be a number 1 to 5. It could be a heart, a thumbs, a face. Again, you have a lot of different options over here. So the first question would be, how do you rate our service? Now, when a customer sees this, you could actually change this to 10 if you want, or smaller, bigger as you want. You can make the question compulsory, so we'll click it over here. And what we can do is, if you wanted to explain what you wanted to have here, you could easily do that. So for example, what services you prefer, or whatever you would like to add over here. Now, you can add an image behind here if you want. So this is something that you could do from Bing. Let's try that. A survey. You have a lot of different options. There we go. You can add that if you wanted to add it. Let's go for service. And we just add that. So you could add images here as well if you want, but just to make it cleaner, we're just going to remove that for now. Now we can add something new, or we could copy the same format and add another section. Here what we can do is we're going to add a date, and the date would be, when did you use our service? Now here, once again, you can add a subtitle, list when the service was completed. So here you could basically just click onto this and you can add your date. Now, once again, you can add branching if you need to, but you can have a play around over there. So let's go to new, and we can add a choice over here. Let's go, would you recommend us to a friend? Now we can just change the spelling here, and we can write yes, no, maybe. You could also add your own options. So for example, definitely, no way. Let's do that. So you can have different options here as well. Now let's test out another section, which would be a text box. Now in a text box, you could add various different things. You can add a subtitle, question, you can add a long answer, which basically means you could have a big thing. Do you have any other comments? So this is usually a field that we would have if we wanted to have different things. Now what we could do is we could preview this, and you can have a look at how it looks like on a desktop, and you could also look at how it looks like on a mobile. So it's a very easy way to be able to do the questions. What you can do is fill it out. So now what we're going to do is have a look at this, and let's fill it out as we are in. Then we're going to give it 4 stars. We're going to look at the date as the 11th of Feb, and definitely, would you recommend? Everything was great. So we could basically just submit that, and now your submission has gone. You can change a lot of the features here. So when you collect responses, you can set it to things like anyone can respond. You can shorten the URL if you want to share this with your team. You can share it via Outlook, share it in many different formats. You can as well have a QR code where perhaps you have this stuck up on the wall somewhere in the office, or anywhere that you want somebody to fill out the form. So this is a very nice way to do it. You can embed it in an email, you could send it across. There are a lot of different settings as well that you could change. So for example, you need to record the name, you need to make sure, you could even set a timer. So if you're doing a survey or a questionnaire where you wanted to do a quiz and you wanted to hide that, you could do that. You can shuffle questions if it is a test. You could also show a progress bar on the top if you have a very long questionnaire. And if you want them to resubmit it, that's also possible. You can also get an email notification if you want for everything. And you can also customize your thank you message. So these are all possibilities that you can have. Now, the theme and all of these kind of things can also be changed. Now, as we have just answered the question as a customer, let's go over to the responses. You do now have one person has answered it. So as the data gets collected, you would get more and more responses here, and you would be able to collect your data. Now, if you go down to the bottom, you can see all the different comments. You can open up the Excel sheet here. And once the Excel sheet has opened, you can then click into it, and you would have all of your data together. So there we go. We have all the data that we wanted to collect right over here. And as more and more people answer the questions, you would just build up this sheet and you can download it from the form. Now, there is another way to do the form, and that is directly from Excel. So one is collected to the form and then Excel, and then you can do it the reverse way where you can open up an Excel and add the form into that. So we're going to quickly have a look at that way to do it as well. Another way to do the Excel Microsoft form is to come back to your Excel 365 dashboard, and we will click onto Excel, open a blank workbook if you want. You need to have it online and inside your Microsoft 365 drive to make sure that you have the option. So this is not going to work on an offline template. Head over to the Insert tab, and you have the option of forms here. So you can directly add a form here. Once it's loaded, all this means is that the direction of where your data is going to be in this Excel sheet here. So rather than the previous way where you would have the Excel sheet linked directly to the form and you would need to go into the form and download the data here, you would be able to have a separate Excel sheet where you can collect the data. So you would go through the same way and you would do the form in exactly the same way. So, and once you start to type in the questions, you do actually get the questions that you had from the previous. So you could easily just select all of those, very easy. And if we just do that, we can go ahead and collect them. And now you've come onto the screen with all of the data as we had before. You can make them pretty, you can have the theme. Let's try the yellow theme. You can try whatever you want to, and you can make it look as pretty as you like. So once again, let's try to send out the form. If you have a look at the way that it looks like on the computer, and you can look at the way it looks like as well on the mobile. And now you can send it across, you can collaborate, you can duplicate it, you can share it as a template. However you want to do this, you can share it. So there we go, you can share it right here. People in my organization, specific people, you can get a link to duplicate, you could even duplicate it. And your responses at the same time would appear here. You could open it in a different Excel, and you can have it directly into the Excel where you've been building it. I hope you found this useful. It's something that I use very frequently, and it helps me to collect data in a much faster way than having a lot of emails put all together, sent to you, messages sent to you. It's a way to optimize your time, save you a lot of time, and make sure you get all the information from each single person that you need to collect it from. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.